Welcome to Wager Talk TV. I'm Kelly Stewart, joined by Brian Leonard and Teddy Covers. We're going to talk about in-game wagering strategies. So maybe you guys can give me a couple tips for myself. But this question comes from @CD054 on Twitter. Let's do a video, guys, on betting, in-game betting strategies, what not to bet in-game, what situations to look for that have value. Brian, I'll start with you.
Basically, you want to look contrarian on anything you do. We'll start off with football. You can bet it baseball, football, basketball. It's very small in the United States right now, whereas in Europe and England and all, that's 80% of their handle is in-game betting, especially for soccer or football. But what I like to do, let's just use football for an example. First thing you want to do, you got to worry about what the key numbers are. You always need to worry about what key numbers are. You want to make sure you get the key numbers in your favor. Secondly, when you're betting it, you don't want to bet it when the offensive team has got the ball. You want to bet when the defensive team. You want to bet the defensive team. You don't want the offensive team, because the offensive team, they're already figuring this team is going to score points on their possession. So when you're trying to bet in the game, you want to bet the team on defense as opposed to the team on offense, because everybody is excited. They think they're going to score, and you're getting more of a value if you're betting on the defensive team. Also, something a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to is you need to bet based on where on the field it is. Because you'll have, for example, this last weekend, Oregon played Michigan State, ugliest football game you'd ever seen. Well, Oregon was always backed up within their 10-yard line, so they really couldn't get their offense going. So when Oregon's back there, that's when you want to bet on the defense, because Oregon's got a long way to go, and they got a situation where they just can't run their normal plays. And that's what you would, like, if you liked Michigan State, you would bet Michigan State then. So when teams are in the red zone, a lot of teams are good in the red zone. Some teams aren't. The Atlanta Falcons this year were terrible in the red zone. They get 500 yards and you just couldn't put the ball in for the touchdown. You need to know teams that are good in that situation, so when they get down to the red zone, everybody thinks they're going to score 7. But if you want the opposing team, you play the opposing team then, because chances are they're not going to get the 7. So you benefit from a field goal, you benefit from a turnover, and that's how I use them for football. And basketball and baseball are very similar.
Good stuff, Brian. From your opinion on in-game wagering, Teddy?
Well, the last concept that Brian brought up in my mind is the most important. Because you're saying you're going to get a benefit if the markets have priced in for a touchdown and they only kick a field goal. When I'm live betting, there's only one thing I'm worried about, and that is, where's the market going to move after this bet? What I'm trying to do is get the best of the number for whichever team I'm on by trying to assess what the next live line is going to be for that game. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, let's use last night's game, Texas, Georgia. Texas was up 20-7 before Georgia was actually an underdog in that game. I was shocked. You could just tell by watching the game that Texas, at least in the first half, had full control and had a very good shot at winning that game. But then you could get Georgia to pick them, but if you waited till halftime, they were only -10.
Sure, but Georgia was only -10 at the time when they trailed by 13.
Right.
The concept is, here's the line right now that I can bet live. What's the next line going to be? It's obviously going to change based on if they punt, if they score, if they, do a touchdown versus a field goal. You're trying to get ahead of the next line that's going to be available after this one, the next spot where there's going to be an inflection point and the numbers are going to change. If you can assess the game correctly for where you are now, you're getting the best of the number. And as with any form of wagering, that's the key. A key is being on the right side of these key numbers and being on the right side of where's the line going to move.
The best sport, at least the best time of the year, is the bowl games for betting live. Because going in, we're always worried about who's here to play, who's here not to play. You're just guessing until the game starts. And all of a sudden, once the game starts, you can make a lot of money if one team is
That's
totally
what I was saying about last night. Everybody was like, oh, I got to bet Georgia now to pick them. And I'm like, why?
No, you don't.
Why would you?
Most people play it to get back to where the opening line was. And that's just the opposite of what you want to play. You want to play the team to blow them out. Like if a team gets a big lead at the half, like you see it in basketball all the time. The Golden State Warriors are down big at the half. Like, oh, Golden State's going to come back. Well, yeah, they may come back, but maybe they just didn't prepare for this team, and they're not going to be able to make the money. That's how you make the money. You go contrarian.
All right.
And the last thing, because we talked a lot about football, basketball stuff. is different in the sense of they're not touchdowns and field goals. It's all 1, 2s, and 3s. So, but basketball is much more, is exclusively a game of runs. So when I'm live betting hoops, I'm always betting on the team that the other team just went on an 11-0 run against them, and then vice versa the other way around. Basketball, I'm always betting at the, when your coach calls a timeout, that's when you want to be betting on that team in live betting when it comes to hoops.
And I just want to make one point about baseball. The home plate umpire in baseball. When you're betting live, you can see the reactions of the players. They're not happy with the way he's calling the games. He's not going to switch the way he's calling that game halfway through the game. So a lot of times you'll take a look at that and say, this guy's got a wide strike zone. I'm going to be taking a look at betting the total in that game as opposed to anything else. And that it's really the new age of betting. And like I said, it's really popular. It's not here in the United States as popular, but it will be soon.
When you look at the FanDuel numbers out of Jersey, man, they're half the way, half their handles coming in through
it's
in-game
huge,
wagering.
especially with younger
demographics. It is only going to grow. It is only going to grow, and certainly having optimal strategies will give you hopefully a leg up for this emerging segment of the betting marketplace.
All right, good stuff from both guys. SportsMemo Text Club, it's 100% free. Just text SportsMemo to 33222 to get a $10 coupon for just signing up.